Kyle Seager. Oh, God bless his soul. What was it like last week, 2 weeks ago? We got the sudden news, the surprising news of Kyle Seager's departure. Uh, what are you guys' thoughts on his his long career just in Seattle, and why do you think he retired?
Um, I think it's a shame that clearly he wanted to be in Seattle, but it's a shame that it had to end that way. He never made it to the playoffs. It's one of his only years that they were close to it is his final year. But I think Kyle Seager, career wise, was a very good player. I don't think he was great, but he was very good. He was very consistent. His career numbers are actually
Yeah,
they're not half bad. Over 11 seasons, he played 1,480 games, has almost 1,500 hits, 309 doubles, 242 home runs. His overall career slash line was 251, 321, and 442. And then if you want to go super nerd, his wins above replacement for his career was 34.8. So he was a good player. He was a good player in a bad situation in Seattle because it's now being shown that ownership kind of doesn't care about a lot of stuff that goes on with that team. But um, I think he'll be known for his loyalty to Seattle. I think he'll go down as a Seattle like Mariner legend.
yeah.
But also I just think the reason why he did retire, he said in his in his at least his statement, he said that he was already deciding to retire after or towards the end of the season, but he just didn't tell anybody, right?
Mhm.
However, I feel like this has a lot to do with the lockout and things like that. I just feel like as time went on and having to sit there and think about it, I don't know if he wanted to wait after that process of free agency again and then probably get like a low ball deal from a team.
Yeah.
And also, he seemed to really like Seattle. And once Seattle said that they weren't going to resign him, I kind of felt like he was like, well, I don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so I kind of view it as a little premature because last year he did have a career year in home runs and RBIs. But obviously he did want to stay in Seattle because he's just loyal like that. But if he would have waited this out, I think he would have got a little bit of money. And if I was in his position, I would have went for it, man. You got to set up your family for the future, right? Like you could only make this type of, or he could only make this type of money once in his life, and this was his last chance at making that money. But I respect his loyalty,
How much did he
loyal
make?
player.
How much did he make overall?
If you obviously you have to factor in the $100 million extension, so he's well over 100
Oh
million.
yeah, so when I heard the news, first thing I thought about was, and this may sound like a far-fetched, but his brother just signed a huge contract. Is there an ego thing like, oh, I'm not going to get what my brother got, and I can't? Is he going to rib on me because when I got my contract, I ribbed on him?
Possibly, or
So,
maybe Seager's just gonna take care of him.
or or exactly, well,
He's not broke.
he's not broke. But no, so I thought that, and I was like, okay, that's a scenario. But then I was like, it was premature. He had a career year in RBIs and home runs, like you said. But I was like, I just don't feel like he probably got some offers.
You know what? One thing that played a factor is maybe the way that Seattle treated him. He's like, man, screw this. I'm over this game. You know, like you could get burned out that way.
But he
I
also,
could see that.
you figure he's 34, he has a family. He's probably like, you know what? Do I really want to do this again with a new team?
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and then going back to Shy's point, I think, like I said, Seattle, the way they just handled that team over the years, and especially last year, trying to manipulate players' service times and not trying to help the team, and then when your team is actually doing well, you trade your all-star closer. Like every possible thing that they could do to stop that team, they did
It was kind of like
Hmm.
major league.
Right. So, if I'm him, I'm looking at this like, all right, I only want to play for this team, but this team's upper management sucks. If I go anywhere else, there's a good chance that I'm gonna obviously start, but also there's a good chance I can get lowballed or get put into a platoon position, which I'm not ready for. And I feel like he was just looking at. He's 34. He's looking at his options, and he's like, if I'm not gonna be the same player, if I'm not gonna get the same opportunity, why do it?